Okay, today is May the 5th, 2016, and we're watching the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop. And right now, at about 9 p.m. in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a barometric pressure of 1,012 millibar or 29.88. The temperature is 55 degrees, the relative humidity is 75%, and the dew point is 47 degrees. And today we're watching an upper level low. This is a dry low. This is offshore. This is an upper level low, closed low pressure system. And this is not delivering any rain to Southern California. There's been just a couple of very light sprinkles that last for 5 minutes and then they stop, and barely getting the ground wet uh, or even damp. Nothing measurable. Uh, Now, we can also see the transmitter that's on top of this system. It's blocking we have a moisture field here that should be flowing right into that low pressure, but it's been completely blocked by this manipulation going on here. This is a transmitter that is isolating this core. The core pressure is around 1,008, I believe. We'll check that. But the key thing I want to point out, two things. We have a meteorologist in town on KCAL-9. His name, I believe, is Rich Fields. And he was explaining the other day that the dry low that was going down through the center of the state was not delivering rain because it was not over the ocean, and that was his excuse for for that system not delivering rain. But yet we have a similar system that's moved in from the ocean to the moving to the east, and it's the same problem. What he's not telling us is that there's been a transmitter on this system as well, and so there is no excuse. In other words, his science is not holding up as to why this system here is a dry low. If we look at this in the infrared loop, there's just nothing there. There is no moisture because the transmitters have completely wiped it out. Now up here we can see there's a lot of moisture. It's pouring rain up in Northern California on and off. My connection up in that area has told me that they've been getting some strong rain, heavy rain periodically. But the problem here, once again, is we've got this transmitter right on top of this core. This should be a vigorously spinning low with a lot of punch, and it's not. And also this moisture field is blocked. It can't get into the core because there's we have all that high pressure right around the core. Okay, so that's the situation. Just basically heavy dew is what we've seen so far. Let's look at the jet stream, and we can see it's wrapping right around that low as it moves into California. And then next, let's take a look at the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see close up what's happening here. This should be delivering a lot of rain, inches and inches of rain. Now, what I want to say is we're going to keep an eye on this as this moves in over California. We're going to watch this system redevelop. The power on this transmitter will probably be reduced as it moves through California, and we will see this quickly rebuild into something very significant. But once again, as we see what's happening here, as this moves through Southern California, this will deliver very little rain. Now on the surface chart, there's a high indicated out over here, which we'll have to keep an eye on and see what they're going to do. Let's look at the infrared loop. And that upper level low is just insignificant. There's just nothing happening here in the core. The rain that is moving into Southern California has been completely, it just evaporates as it moves into the Channel Islands, San Nicolas Island, and some of the other ones. This, well, you can see it, it's just dissipating. Let's take a look next at this is the East Pacific. This is a corrupted map. We'll skip over that. Basically, we have a thunderstorm right here being blown apart, so they've corrupted this one map. But if we go to the infrared loop for the same map, we can see, I've zoomed in on this. They're blowing this portion of the storm apart. We can actually see a shock wave. This one northwest edge gets blown out, and we can see a right there. a shock wave. That portion of the storm is being blown apart. And we'll go and take a look next at the, this is the visible light mode. Right here is where that's all happening. Right here. And as I say, the water vapor map is corrupted, so we can't take a look at that. That's not showing up too well. We can see a blast wave right out of that one side, and we see this whole area diminish. Okay, now if we go back to the water vapor map on the entire Northeast Pacific, we can see what's happening here. This is where all that activity is happening. They're blowing that one side out of that thunderstorm. This is a very intense thunderstorm right down here where these hurricanes develop, and so they are taking preventative measures right now to stop a disturbance from developing. We are getting close to hurricane season, and that is clearly a blast pattern right there. Okay, let's carry on to the, we saw that. Also, we can see some overlay right here. They're photoshopping some of this activity. These targeted areas are being overlaid, so we can't see the dimples. Okay. All right, next let's look at the SSEC water vapor map. And we can see that upper level low sitting right over Southern California and Central California right here. This is Lompoc, Vandenberg right here. That's basically where the core is, the center of that rotation. And we can see some chemtrail activity right here. Okay, right here. There's a lot of chemtrail activity, spraying going on. Okay, next, let's take a look at the, this is the surface analysis map. And we can see that the this low pressure system is 1,011 millibar moving through. We have a high pressure indicated right out here, 1,030 millibar, with a developing gale indicated here. Keep an eye on what happened. We also have a trough right here. But so far, there's just been no weather really to speak of, just basically a heavy marine layer. We'll have to see what they give us here later tonight. All right, now here is the wave analysis map. We can see that that system is developing 15-foot seas offshore in Central California, 9, 12, and 15-foot seas. All right, let's take a look next at the sea level pressure again. This is the analysis. And we can see the low, there's a low here. And we have high indicated out here. 1,012 millibar all through this area. Right here. Okay, next is the 500 millibar. We have that upper level low. That should be delivering rain. It's basically, they call it a dry low. There's the 300 millibar. We have some ridges here. Now this is forecast to sit around over this Southern California area for a period of time. They haven't mentioned how much time. They said maybe 2-3 days. So we'll see what develops. But there it is. No rain. That is a big system. The main thing is we're going to keep an eye on this. As this moves over California, we'll watch it redevelop just like all the other ones. For some reason, though, when it sits over California, we just don't get much rain out of that Southern California. Okay, so that is the report. We'll do another one tomorrow.